Oh, and then Mark, you should also announce that we're not going to be hearing 34 Poplar. So I think a lot of people are here for that.
Okay. Yeah, let me get to the, where's it going here? Newsletters. I just want to get the agendas. I can read it. Oh, it's town council. Why don't I have that in front of me? Okay. So I will now call to order the ADR meeting for August 18th. For those of you in the audience that can hear me now, we've had a change in the schedule. One of the issues, one of the projects on Poplar, due to the neighbors still being opposed to the pool in almost exactly the same place as it was before, the applicant has decided to withdraw that, and they have decided to proceed with their yard project minus the pool, so just the barbecue, etc., that we all spoke about last time. So anybody that was waiting for that particular project to weigh in on, or just curiosity, we will not be dealing with that project again. It will go to the town council, and there will be no pool on the project. And before we go any further in this meeting, I want to give people the option to speak about any non-agenda item for up to 3 minutes, if they so choose. If no one is raising their hand to participate. Oh, and Patrick and Matthew, if you guys could just keep an eye out for Steve and or Mark Fritz, if they end up being in the waiting room, please let them in when they attend. And the first project, the only project we'll be discussing tonight, is on Upper Road. So if the applicant and or their design team would like to do a presentation after Matthew or Patrick introduces the project, we can start that way.
Chair, I do see a hand raised by Barbara Gately, so I think she might have been trying to join the public comment period.
Okay, Barbara?
Yes, I'll make it really brief. I'm joining the public comment because it appears that the withdrawal of the pool issue means that we will have no discussion whatsoever on the fence, which was never addressed before, and I think poses some serious consequences.
And Barbara, and because it's no longer an agenda item, we can't discuss it, but I think you raised some very good points in your letter, and any fence over 6 feet tall needs a variance. And what you'll need to do now is forward your comments for the town council meeting that is upcoming, that will discuss that project. So you should liaison with, is it Patrick or Matthew? Which one of you should she liaison with to submit her comments?
Matthew is the project planner for that.
Okay, so to Matthew, and then also send the same email that you sent to us. I would just send that exact same document, which is a very well put together document, to the town council, so they have that for the meeting when they're going to discuss that project.
And Chair Krushnan, if I may just provide some additional information, the applicant will be resubmitting a revised plan for staff review. It's my understanding that that plan may not include the proposed 7-foot fence, because the need for that 7-foot fence would not necessarily be required without a pool. So, I believe that those plans will be renoticed, and the community will have a chance to look at those plans again before they go to the town council as well.
So just wait until a new hearing is noticed.
That would be my recommendation. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Barbara.
Sure. Thank you, Barbara.
And Chair, I see we also have a call-in number, 3513. And I know that is somebody who is also wishing to speak during the public comment period.
Okay, please proceed.
Hi, are you calling on me? I can't tell.
Yes, we are calling on you.
Oh, good. Thank you very much. Thank you all. I'm Antonia Adencio from Rune Art and Garden Center, and I am following up on the presentation and conversation that we had with you a month ago. Simply to say thank you for your feedback. We really appreciate it. We have definitely taken it into consideration. We're making some changes in the tonality of our sign, and we're also going to go with a metal sign. We found a donor who would help us pay for that, and we certainly agree that that's going to have a much better and more durable appearance. So we look forward to having it made and installed very soon, and we again appreciate your feedback. It was very helpful to us.
Thanks, Antonia.
Thank you for your update and the call. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you all for what you do.
Thank you.
It's a whole year's worth of 3-minute comments. We never have those. How exciting for us. Okay, now we can move on to the Upper Road project. And just for those, in case there's anyone in the audience that wants to discuss their fence, which is unlikely, the way we do it as the project applicant presents their project, the ADR has sometimes clarifying questions, then we open it up to the public afterwards, and then after that we bring it back to the ADR for our recommendation to council. So now we'll start with the agenda item.
Thank you, Chair, ADR group members. The item before you is the Share Residence Auto Gate Replacement Project. And here's the project site off of Upper Road West. It's approximately a 2-acre lot, hillside lot with 34% slope. The existing auto gate is on Upper Road, and the proposal is to replace that existing auto gate with this proposed design. It would replace the entry gate and the posts with new cedar gate and posts, and it would reuse the existing decorative hardware. And so that summarizes the project. Staff's recommendation is that the ADR group discuss the merits of the project and provide a formal recommendation to town staff, who has decision-making authority on fences and gates. Thank you, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Matthew, I'm sorry, could you go back to the original gate?
Sure, let me just bring up the project plans if I could. So this is a picture of the original gate. Would you like to see that larger?
Yeah, you had a larger picture that was great on that a second ago. Okay, thanks. Yeah, they're reusing that hardware. In the other drawing, it looks like an emoji
No,
for
it's
some reason. If you click to the next one, there, it looks like a face emoji, like an
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
I think that's just the drawing, the line drawing itself.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the intent.
I know, I can tell from it now. Thank you. That's what I wanted to see.
And the proposed color is Oxford brown.
Okay. Laura and Joey, did either of you have any questions?
nope.
I can open it up now if anyone in the audience would like to make a comment or have a question on it. Okay. Joey, would you like to go first?
Sure. I think it's a really nice design. I have no problem with it. I like it better than the old fence, and I think it's great.
Laura? Would you like to comment?
I mean, overall, I think it's great. And I am new here with this team and this process. So I'm still kind of learning the ropes with how everything goes. One thing I was reading in the design review is that the vehicular gates should be transparent to let in light and lines of the site. But I know there was an existing gate that was just like this before. So that would be my only comment, really.
I actually thought along those lines too, Laura, and I kind of balanced that with that they're basically replacing what they had, which was not
Yeah.
transparent. So I don't know if we could compel them to make it transparent.
Yeah, and I understand that. I mean, and I think it looks nice. The design of it is an improvement. So I don't have any issues with it. I'm just learning.
Well, no, it's a good point.
I agree with your point, Laura. It would be a little nicer if it was open. However, it already exists. And I think certain streets tend to maybe be less important as far as the openness of the gates and fences. There's certain streets that more people walk by, the houses are closer, maybe more of a neighborhood feel, where here up on Upper Road, the homes are spread out much more, and that it doesn't seem like it's overly ominous. And sometimes if you were to ask an applicant to, or if you were to require it to be more open, they might just keep the old gate. And I think this is a huge improvement just because it's new. So you make a good point, Laura, that typically the town would want it to be more open. I assume that Matthew and Patrick are okay with this being closed because of what's existing there at the moment.
Yes, there's no actual design standard that requires a certain level of openness. It is more of a design guideline. And so as long as the ADR group believes that the intent of design review is being met, it is acceptable.
Okay, and I see Mark Fritz has joined us now. Mark, we are on the Upper Road project. I don't know if you saw, but the Poplar project was canceled. They withdrew their request for a pool. And we're back to the ADR comments and recommendations on this gate. Joey has said that she believes it would be an improvement on what's there currently. Laura pointed out that the code now is to try to get more transparency in the gates. But this one exists as a solid gate now. And this is a nicer version, in my opinion, and Joey's, of what currently exists.
First off, my apologies for being late. I apologize. Are there other comments, Mark, or should I wait?
No, that was it. We're sort of giving our recommendation now.
Yeah, that essentially, that commentary around transparency, but existing conditions was in line with what I was thinking in regards to this particular project. So it sounds like you guys covered what I would have brought up regarding this gate.
Okay, great. So Matthew and Patrick, our recommendation is to approve the proposed gate.
Thank you.
Now, should we go to, we have the minutes to approve, correct?
So the next item is communications. The only one coming from staff that I can think of right now is that, actually I have two things. One is that we did have the appointments of the ADR group. So these are new 3-year terms. So I'd like to congratulate the 4 incumbents that we have. Thank Dan Winey for stepping down, and congratulate Laura for being able to take that position on the board. So that's great. And our members have been doing a great job already. So we're happy to have you on, stay with our group, but also happy to have some new perspective. Then the second communication I'd like to relay is that at last week's meeting of council, one of the items that was discussed was a redesign of the Civic Center complex. So the police department, the fire department, the EMTs, and administrative staff. So this is going to be a long process, and we're trying to maximize the amount of input and public participation in the process. The first step will be deciding what services should be relocated on this site. The main one being is the fire department, something that we want to keep on site or just have that go back into the rest of the Ross Valley Fire Department as well as the Kentfield Fire Department. But then also looking at EMS services, administrative staff, how that looks, as well as what the new police facilities would look like. So the first step is figuring out what services are offered. And so there'll be a lot of outreach that happens between now and December when we'd like that information. And then after December, once we know what the concept for the project is, that's when we'd move into more of the design phase. And that's where this group would be a very important resource for the town moving forward. So we'd look to not just involve the ADR group in formal meetings, but also as a participant in our outreach as well. So there'll be more on that as the year moves forward. But those are the two things I wanted to communicate, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. And then the minutes, what was the date of the last meeting? I don't have that.
It's the July 17th minutes.
Yeah, so I looked at the July 17th minutes and I thought they were fine. Joey and or Mark, who were both here, did either one of you get a chance to look over those minutes?
I reviewed them briefly, and I thought they were fine as well.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
Okay,
And in fact, the follow-up has been very fruitful regarding both the Tracy project and the Marin Art and Garden Center. So I think they received our comments well and actually acted on them.
Did you see a follow-up on the Marin Art and Garden Center? I apologize, I didn't see that.
Oh, they just Antonio Adesio called in. That she's head over there, and she said that they had adopted a lot of our suggestions. They changed the coloring, and they were able to secure financing for a metal sign.
Excellent. Oh,
Yeah, so they kind of listened to some suggestions, and then the Tracys have definitely responded to our comments.
Mhm.
Well, I think.
great. Wait, so we approve those minutes then?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Is that everything for tonight?
Yes, it's up to the board if you'd like to do the election of officers. My recommendation would be that we continue that item to the next meeting when we hopefully have all 5 members.
Yes.
We can continue that one more month. And actually, if the ADR members on the call wouldn't mind just staying on for like 3 or 4 minutes after everyone else leaves. And I know we don't have I don't think we have the technology to kick everyone else out, but if someone else wants to stay in and listen, I don't really care.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Can you just leave the meeting open, Patrick, for us?
I can, but
After
are we formally adjourning?
Yeah, so let's formally adjourn now.
All right.
And then a few of us will stay in the room as we would if it was a real building.
Yeah, like we used to do.
Yes.